Hi guys. Let's talk about episode 7. I thought this episode would finally be good, but what we found out was evil editing and weird song choices again. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to keep up with the survival show, and don't forget to like. Thanks. In this episode we will have the 3 full performances for the first time. But don't get too happy, because this mission is divided in 2 parts. The second part will be shown in the next episode. The first part is called Color. There are 3 rooms with different colors and the picture of a group place in front of it. The girls will have to choose which song they want to do by entering the room, based on the color and the group. The rooms need to have 5 people. They start to choose from the lowest, so the highest girls can push them aside if the room is full and get the song they want. But let me warn you that this is messed up. I thought that for the first time we would have something nice going on, but as time goes by, I start to dislike this show even more. The idea of this mission was so cool, but execution is not. They did that thing of having one song being harder than the other 2, as well as the concept of the songs being different from the original. They did that to confuse the girls, so they end up with different concepts than what they thought. But I don't know if that's a good idea. The group's image in the rooms are 2NE1 with green color, Red Velvet with red color, and Oh My Girl with purple color. So for 2NE1 the girls were thinking it would be a powerful song, meanwhile for Red Velvet and Oh My Girl it would be a more refreshing song. For Red Velvet a lot of the girls thought it would be Red Flavor, for obvious reasons. The problem is that this mission was about changing the concept of an original song. So imagine that the song is powerful and matches with a darker color. In this mission it has to be happier so it can match the color the producers decided. They like to complicate things, I see. And because of that, some people, like the Red Velvet team, went to a room where they would show a refreshing side of them, and ended up with a powerful song. Meanwhile, everyone who went to 2NE1 looking for power, ended up with a song I can't describe if it should be happy or not. With that said, let's see what the girls chose, and what they ended up with. Initially, Funa, Himina, Jonghyun, Yuna and Wonhee were in the red room. It was the first to get full. Then the green room got full with Chanel, Haewon, Minju, Jimin and Jihyun. The purple room had Mocha and Soyeon only. Jiwoo, Iroha and Youngso could push the others aside now. Iroha chose the red room, so she pushed Wonhee aside, making her stay with the purple room. Then Jiwoo also chose the red room, pushing aside Himina to the purple room. I have to mention that meanwhile, the green room was really happy, it's important for later. But then Youngso came. She chose the green room, and chose to push aside Chanel, a great vocalist, instead of Haewon, who was in the low level. I guess they are friends and became used to each other because of all the other missions where they were together, and also Youngso wanted to shine and Chanel could be a threat to that, but I don't think that was a smart decision, cause remember, if your team goes bad you won't get benefit points. Well, little they knew, it was not a dance performance, which is Haewon's strength, it was a vocal song and performance, and Youngso dismissed the best vocalist there. They have Minju, but if Chanel was there too, their performance would have been better, but we'll get to it. From that moment on, we can already see how Chanel's happiness went away. She was so happy in the green room, and the one she wanted to avoid the most was the purple one, because she doesn't know many songs by Oh My Girl. Well, neither do I. If I was there I would have the same problem as her. As soon as she gets to the purple room she starts to cry. The final purple room group is Chanel, Mocha, Soyeon, Wonhee and Himina. Now we go to the practice time. For this mission, all the girls would have to point out who they think should do which part, then they would choose which division they think it's the best, and the person who made that division will be the leader. This way is the fairest leader decision until now. I thought everything would be fine like this, but I was wrong. In the green team, all of the girls wanted Haewon to do the high note part, because they think her voice is the most high-pitched one. But Haewon was afraid of it, because she is not so good at it and thinks her voice wasn't the best in the Dalla Dalla performance. I don't want to be mean or anything, but if Youngso had kept Chanel in the group, they wouldn't have this problem. Haewon continues to practice her part while bursting into tears because it's difficult. Then she said things were a lot easier when she was on high level. Well Haewon, let me remind you that you were a leader for 2 missions in a row, so everything was easy for you because you chose the part you wanted and let the others do whatever was left. Ask Youngso and Iroha if it was nice to perform the boys having the fewest lines in the performance, still being in the high level. But anyways, I realized that when they push some drama it's because something is about to happen with those trainees. It can be the team winning, or they being eliminated. In the interim evaluation, they weren't good and this is one of the few times I agree with the coaches' faces. They didn't memorize the full lyrics, so they weren't singing confidently. Also, I want to mention that in this episode we discovered how much time they have to practice. They have 2 days for the interim evaluation, and 7 in total between each stage performance. So it's 1 song per week. It's a short time to an interim evaluation. Now it makes sense how the coaches are always destroying them on it. They had 2 days, but they want it to be perfect. Now we go to the performance. At this point I don't know what to believe in, because this survival show keeps editing their voices every time, and they don't post the full fan cam of the stage, so we don't really hear their live voices. What's the point of making a survival show then? They could have debuted them and make this as a documentary, like LE SSERAFIM. At least we didn't waste our time pretending that votes make a difference. We do well know that these judges are doing what they think it's good for them. The votes seem like an excuse. So I'll just judge what I hear, okay? It might be edited, so let's open our ears and try our best. Minju ate this so much. Haiwan didn't make it like she wanted. Jihyun called my attention a lot, and I think Jimin was great too. I said Minju never calls my attention on stage, but this performance was the first one she did it. I played attention to her a lot. She was dominating the stage a lot of times. It's like it's her song. Her words in English are a bit stiff, but she and Youngso were great at the rap part. Looking at it as a performance and not only vocals, I expected more. It's kind of boring. The vocals are good, but it's just the way the performance was planned, you know, not the girl's fault. Now there's something that happened here and I want to call your attention. One of the coaches said to Jihyun that she looked without confidence, and asked her if the fans would still love her if she went on stage without confidence one day. Then the audience started screaming, "You are good and we love you." Thank you so much, audience. You put this coach in his place, I'm so glad. Then the coaches laughed embarrassed and arrogantly. Now we come to the most crazy and complicated part, the Purple Room team rehearsal. So, talking about the song first. Everybody was expecting Dolphin, but it was actually the 5th season, SSFWL. The name is already complicated, wait until you see the choreography. Oh yes, they have a full choreography, very different from the other 2 teams. See, this is what I always complain about this survival show, why can't they have similar songs for the teams? Why do they always have one that is more difficult than the others? I don't think you can judge them fairly with this. They are overworking compared to the other 2 teams. They had to learn all the vocals with the full choreography, no chair, no standing and smiling. Chanel pointed that out, together with the information that they have only 2 days to learn all of this to the interim evaluation, and then more 4 or 5 days to get ready for stage. I know it's a competition, but only 2 days for an interim evaluation is too short. If it was 3 or 4 days it would be a lot better to schedule. And here the mess starts. Wonhee and Soyeon are happy because they like the song, but Chanel had never heard of it. But even like that, Chanel's part division was chosen by all the girls, so she became the leader. She chose the smallest part for her, that were only some raps. For the dance, they got some help from Yuna, who knew the chorus. Then Chanel starts getting stressed out because they aren't progressing, they have to learn a full choreography and memorize the lyrics singing well in only 2 days, while the others have chairs and small choreography parts. She said it's unfair, and I've been saying this since episode 2. We got to episode 7 to see someone from the show saying the same, I wasn't crazy. Suddenly, someone from another team want to change parts. The girls encouraged Chanel to try for it, and it gave her hope, only for it to be torn apart later. Haiwan wanted to change parts, but since Chanel's got a very small part and wasn't from the Red Velvet team, she decided to keep it as it was, taking Chanel's chance away. Both of them were struggling, and both of them were criticized by the coaches. Maybe if they had switched parts, their teams could have gone better. In the interim evaluation, the coaches suggested Chanel took some lines from Wonhee, so her part wouldn't be so small. What I find funny is that the production of the show divided the lines like this and made part 3, which is Chanel's part, be just those lines. Now the coaches are saying they should change it, are they correcting their own mistakes? Back to the practice room, things start to lose control. Chanel is more stressed out than before, she explains again what the coaches said, and says it's better to switch one line with Wonhee because she can't sing 2 lines in a row without breathing, and she even lost her breath singing in the interim evaluation before this change. She suggests Wonhee to sing 1 line of hers, so she can catch a breath for the next one, but Wonhee refuses to understand and even say she can't sing that live, which I don't get it. Then they all start talking at the same time and nobody understand what Chanel is trying to explain. If you had group activities in school you know very well how this is stressful, when everybody talks at the same time and no one listens. Then Chanel gives up and say she is going to do the part anyways then, before she bursts into tears. She tries to explain it one more time, and Mocha intervenes to try to understand Chanel's side. One, he keeps talking non-stop, and even I was getting stressed out with too many voices one above the other. Chanel tries to explain for the, let me count how many times. For the 6th or 7th time. When she's almost tearing up, One, he says she'll do it and Chanel decides to do it alone cause she's already tired of discussing. The girls feel bad for her and she explains one more time. Emphasis to that, she explains again and One, he finally agrees. Some people will hate me for this, but I have some questions. Why was it so bad for One Heat to sing one line? Does she prefer her team to go bad because her friend can't catch a breath and she doesn't want to sing one line? Is that line so bad you rather lose team points? Why can't these minors think as a team? There are 3 minors in this group and the only person that tried to understand Chanel's side was Mocha, the adult. Imagine if they are a real debut group, is that the teamwork they'll have? I got so pissed off. They wouldn't let Chanel speak for a minute, everybody kept talking, especially One He, and she kept laughing. That's even more stressful. Cause when you are already stressed out and trying to explain something, it's not nice at all to have someone laughing at you. I think this team was so disrespectful here. And the Chanel scream they used for the episode teaser was so out of context. I can't believe Are You Next hate a foreigner to this point. Even like that, I want to mention she only got more votes after this. Then Chanel's get to her dorm with Mocha, sees the camera, and since she's at her limit, she says she'd rather be eliminated. I imagine how much these girls must be under stress. It's the second one wanting to be eliminated and not handling it anymore. They all seem tired, and it gets worse each episode. But even like that, she laughs tired, play the song again and keep practicing her part. Seems like us when we hate our college or school but still have to deliver the paperwork. After that, she kept practicing with the group cause she wants a good score. You can't say she's not trying hard, cause even after all of this, she performed well and tried to be positive before the performance, at least on the footage we are seeing. The performance starts well. I think this song fits Mocha so well. She's so versatile if you think of it. Her first performance was Tomboy by (G)I-DLE, and now she's doing this light fairy concept and she was good in both of them. One, he did the high note so well, but it would be great if the editors didn't put Lee Hyun's face when she finishes it. This guy disgusts me, seriously, every time he appears my face turns into disgust. Chanel did another high note and then the last chorus that they asked her to sing comes, she gets out of breath. In general, this performance was different from the others indeed, this is a normal performance with full dance, while the others are more of a remix with less dancing. I knew their intention was to make Chanel go down when they did that short teaser for this episode showing her screaming. If you stop to think, when did the judges not criticize her? They always have something to say, and now they got the perfect timing to spill their words without sounding nonsense. The coaches said this performance didn't get the point of the mission because they didn't express their color well. I think it wasn't as bad as they are saying, they all sang well and their facial expressions were good. Chanel had trouble with her voice, but I think they exaggerated when saying they didn't fill the mission purpose. At least the coaches finally noticed Mocha. And I don't think it was a boring performance to watch. They reveal that Chanel was 4th place in the scores, which surprises me, because she's not the last. Now to the last team practice time, the Red Room team. They were all thinking the song would be refreshing and happy, but turns out it was Monster with a rock remix. Yuna became the leader, but Jiwoo started to act like a leader without noticing and Yuna didn't like it. I think she's already used to being a leader cause she's the oldest there. They had a mature conversation and everything was fine, they were friends again. Then Funa is having some difficulties with the song cause she aimed for a refreshing concept and got a dark one. I kept thinking what if she had switched places with Chanel? But she didn't think of changing, she continued practicing Monster and she ended up so well. You can see the difference between the performances by the first half of the song. Even in this one, they stand in front of a microphone only. I think it was the best performance, they all sang well, Jiwoo wasn't stable at first, but then she showed why people call her the best vocalist. Jonghyun was really good here, her vocals were great. And Funa surprised us all with her background high notes. They fit this concept so well, it was obvious they were the best out of the 3 performances. They revealed the scores for all the teams. Surprisingly, the green one got last place with 3.483 points. The purple team got second place with 3.536 points, and the red team got the expected first place with 3.723 points. Then they revealed the second part of this mission, which is the black mission. The total of scores will be 50% color mission with 50% black mission. The Black mission consists of one girl of each team performing Shut Down by Blackpink as a trio. This performance is on the next episode. Anyways, that's it for today. Turn notifications on if you want to see more about Are You Next, and don't forget to like. Bye.